mi amor, this city has been telling stories for centuries. You know it started way back in 1536, right? When Pedro de Mendoza named it Santa Maria del Buen after the good airs from a hill in Sardinia, where sailors prayed for fair winds.
That first settlement didn't last long though. The local Querandi people resisted fiercely, and the Spanish had to abandon it. It wasn't until 1580 that Juan de Gar came back and founded the city again, and Buenos Aires finally began to grow properly.
And grow it did, thanks to the Rio de la Plata. That river's why we're here at all. Even though it's more of an estuary, it connected us to the Atlantic and helped Buenos Aires become a major port, especially during the colonial period when trade was strictly controlled by Spain.
But, like you and me, have never liked being told what to do. Smuggling became an art form, and after the British tried to invade in the early 1800s and failed twice, it sparked a real sense of independence here.
That led to the 1810 May Revolution. We didn't officially break from Spain until 1816, but those early years made Buenos Aires the political and cultural brain of Argentina, even though the rest of the country didn't always love our city's dominance.
Laughs. That tension still simmers. But by the late 1800s, the city was booming with European immigrants. Italians, Spaniards, Germans, Jews, and even some French and Russians flooded in. They built the mansions in Recoleta, the cafes in Palermo, and the tango halls in La Boca.
You know, Buenos Aires was sometimes called the Paris of South America. The architecture, the fashion, the culture, it all blended together. And tango? Well, it was born right here in the working-class neighborhoods, where immigrants mixed African rhythms, Spanish guitar, and Criollo melancholy.
And our population today? There are over 3 million people in the city proper, but around 15 million in the greater metro area, mostly of European descent, but there's been a rise in Bolivian, Paraguayan, Peruvian, and even Asian communities too.
And so many famous names. Jorge Luis Borges, of course. Diego Maradona, rest in peace. Pope Francis was born here, and so was Mercedes Sosa, the voice of a generation. And you can't forget Evita, Eva Perón, who still draws pilgrims to her grave in Ita.
So, the city's had its dark chapters too. The dirty war from 1976 to 1983 left deep scars. 30,000 people disappeared. The mothers of Plaza de Mayo still march every week, reminding us to remember.
But this city always reinvents itself. Look at Puerto Madero, once abandoned docks, now gleaming skyscrapers and luxury living. And yet, in San Telmo and Almagro, tango still breathes, La Bombonera still roars.
Speaking of which, sports. Boca Juniors versus River Plate. The Superclásico is practically a religion, and Messi may have played abroad most of his career, but he's one of our own. And tennis, basketball, even polo, we punch way above our weight.
And the food. Arias everywhere. Steak, chorizo, morchi, chimichurri. Don Julio is world famous now, but I still prefer la brick and the empanadas. Mila. And don't forget the alfas.
You always get poetic about meat and sweets, but don't forget the cafes, Café Tortoni, Las Violetas, El Gato Negro. Those places are the city's living rooms. Writers, thinkers, dreamers, they've all passed through.